Welcome to Timeless Bible Stories, the channel where ancient wisdom comes to life. Today, we embark on an incredible journey of faith and courage, where lessons from the Bible are brought to life through a unique adventure. Let's dive into the story of Danielle and her unforgettable Bible adventure. On a quiet, rainy afternoon, Danielle, a curious and imaginative child, sat by her bedroom window, staring at the raindrops as they danced on the glass. She longed for an adventure, but felt confined by the storm outside. As she scanned her room for something to do, her gaze landed on an old family Bible resting on her bookshelf. Its leather cover was worn, and its pages carried the wisdom of generations past. Danielle picked up the Bible and ran her fingers over its surface. She had heard stories from it before, but something about today felt different. As she opened the book, a warm golden glow began to radiate from its pages. The light enveloped the room, and Danielle felt a sense of peace and wonder. She leaned closer, and suddenly her surroundings began to shift. In an instant, Danielle found herself transported to a new and extraordinary world. She wasn't just reading the Bible, she was living it. Each story came to life around her, filled with vivid sights and sounds. This was the beginning of an incredible journey that would teach her about faith, courage, and God's eternal love. Danielle's first stop on her journey was the ancient city of Babylon. She stood in awe before the grandeur of the palace and its towering gates. The air was thick with tension as she noticed a group of people gathered around a man named Daniel. Daniel's unwavering faith had brought him into conflict with the king's decree. Danielle watched as Daniel was brought before the king, accused of praying to his God instead of obeying the royal command. Despite the threat of being thrown into the lion's den, Daniel remained calm and steadfast. His trust in God was unshaken. Danielle followed at a distance as Daniel was led to the lion's den. Her heart pounded as she saw the massive beasts prowling inside. The den was dark and the air was heavy with the growls of the lions. But as Daniel knelt to pray, something miraculous happened. The lions, instead of attacking, lay down peacefully beside him. It was as if an invisible force was protecting him. Danielle's fear turned to amazement as she realized the power of faith. This moment left a deep impression on Danielle. She learned that true courage comes from trusting in God, even in the face of overwhelming danger. Daniel's story taught her that faith is a shield that can protect us from life's greatest challenges. Before Danielle could fully process what she had witnessed, the scene around her shifted. She found herself standing on the edge of the Red Sea, surrounded by a vast crowd of people. The Israelites were fleeing from Pharaoh's army, and panic filled the air. Danielle saw Moses standing tall, his staff raised high as he prayed for God's guidance. The waters of the Red Sea began to part, creating a pathway of dry land. The sight was breathtaking. Walls of water towered on either side as the Israelites began their journey across. Danielle joined them, feeling the cool mist of the sea on her face. She looked back and saw Pharaoh's army approaching, their chariots thundering across the sand. But as the last of the Israelites stepped onto dry ground, the waters rushed back, swallowing the pursuing army. This miraculous event taught Danielle that God is a deliverer. He provides a way when there seems to be no way. She felt a deep sense of gratitude and awe, realizing that God's power is limitless and his love for his people is unending. For 6 days, the Israelites marched around the city in silence, carrying the Ark of the Covenant. Danielle joined them, feeling the weight of anticipation with each step. On the 7th day, the silence was broken by the sound of trumpets and the voices of the people shouting in unison. The ground trembled, and the mighty walls of Jericho crumbled before their eyes. Danielle learned a powerful lesson about obedience and trust. God's instructions may not always make sense to us, but when we follow them faithfully, He works miracles in our lives. The story of Jericho showed Danielle that victory comes through faith and perseverance. As Danielle's journey came to an end, she found herself back in her room, the Bible still glowing softly in her hands. She felt a sense of purpose and determination. The stories she had witnessed were not just tales from the past. They were lessons for her life today. Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary adventure with Danielle. At Timeless Bible Stories, we bring these timeless tales to life, inspiring faith and wonder in every heart. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this journey with others. Let's discover the endless stories of God's love together.